All right. So here I have official ClearNet. Let me tell you what this is all about, the not secured stuff. Okay, so these cops here, they essentially, they usually get Mormon Temple to essentially makes it not secure what they do. And then anybody that goes on to the site, basically. And that essentially what they'll be looking for is people looking at this specific article. And this specific article will pretty much be the reason. And that they'll want to know everybody that's looking at it. They'll want to know everybody who's looking at it. And that they'll be making lists of everybody that ever like accessed this article. And that they'll have lists of everybody who ever accessed this article. They get that list when it's in this situation, basically. And so, and that's where this is what I wonder, because, I mean, this stuff, like, literally says their names and shit like that, okay? And so, the reality is that they attempted to, like, basically I just don't bring up their names. That's what I do. I just don't bring up their names. Basically. And what that does or whatever, it kind of gets in their way of, like, I imagine that right now some of these people are trying to sue or something like that. And see, it's because their names are in there. Basically. And I think people lack an understanding of, like, this is information that somebody researched and found, and that they're placing in in an article format what they found. We report, you decide. That theoretical idea is why those names are in there. It's not attempting, it claims a bunch of stuff. But essentially it claims stuff that they found, basically. And so it still pretty much operates in the world of free press. And that, it's like when Fox News lies or something. Basically, it doesn't mean it's a lie. It's just like how Fox News claims wild accusations and shit like that. I mean, they do all the time. And so it falls under the protections that, like, Fox News would have on like the Biden computer shit and stuff like that, okay? It operates under those free press laws. This article does. And so the reality is that these people, they use all forms of intimidation. They do. Full spectrum intimidations. Even to the point of, like, utilizing satanic S&M hackers and shit in all fucking ways. Okay? That's like what they do. So, just remember that when you guys get your slander, libel-y kind of ideas, just realize, if you see this article, you'll realize the things I do have a lot more, like, respects the people's names, basically. And so, not that that's good or bad, but it's considered more ethical or something like that. But that doesn't make any difference. The reality is that I leave out the names because it's a better approach in ways, okay? It's a better approach. And that with that, it has a whole, like, see, there's already some sort of intimidation or something. Okay. At these people, I imagine that some of the intimidations at this organization. And so that's kind of where they basically, each one of these people probably is actively like trying to get people intimidated or something. And they have like justifications and hookup sites and stuff. And then I leave out their name. I do. And then their hookup site justifications is about the name. It is. Basically. Like, and then since I leave those out, then essentially they attempt to do a similar thing in me. And then they don't necessarily have the right justifications for doing their hookup site hacking shit. Okay? I come up with like surly bitch. Okay? Because if you ever saw a surly bitch is essentially a pretty decent name to describe that person. Okay? Just like Down syndrome face. Okay? So, the reality, man. The reality is that they essentially, they'll be seen in the hookup site around here. And then when I say surly bitch and Down syndrome face, then people pretty much know exactly who I'm talking about.